Christmas, you must not have everything, right? But I may not have, and you may have, and you share. There is that sharing among, yes, and that brings the excitement. It brings the bond between people. It brings the love. These days, people want to impress. Okay, Christmas is coming. I think the desperation started in, let's say, October, when wanted to meet up with the Christmas preparation. So you hear stories of people's body parts disappearing, private parts disappearing.
It's very common now. You've not been hearing of that.
And the
people go out to public places. The next thing they come telling you.
Yes.
If you've been going to church regularly, you hear testimonies of how they feel. Mostly men. They feel their body parts disappeared, and after much prayers and all that, they feel that it's back.
Yes, my neighbor's sister, it was her breast. Just by greeting somebody, her breast disappeared. And it took a lot for them to return it. All these things, the people that are behind, you realize that they are young people. Why? They want to meet up with the preparations for Christmas season. So it's a misplaced priority. It shouldn't be something that should be associated with evil just because I want to impress somebody at Christmas that
I want to belong.
I want to belong. You understand? They have introduced evil to it. Right? It's supposed to be a blessing. It's supposed to be a blessing.
Yes. And you also want to add, like I stated, it's from three factors. We have the parental aspect, we have the peer pressure, and we have the society aspect. Okay. Now, the society is what is eating us up because things are not done the right way. Like I stated, when the government puts the right things in place, the CBN and every other person in charge of our currency, they knew from Adam that this is going to be the end of the year.
Right.
People will need a
money. They've been need for cash.
Restricting production or whatever it will take for us to have sufficient income.
Right.
People are working.
Yeah.
Government workers are working. Business people are working. So who are you blaming? It is them. It is those we place on seats to rule that are destroying us. So if they are doing their duties, they are faithful in what they are being given. Like we say in our national anthem, from Adam, they have been teaching us to serve Nigeria with all our strength. They're serving Nigeria with all their strength. If they are serving Nigeria with all their strength, there shouldn't be these issues we are going through now. People wouldn't be crying. People wouldn't be lamenting. People are dying too.
All right.
Because of poverty.
Then another thing is traveling. By the way, are you traveling?
I'm not traveling.
Are you traveling?
I'm not traveling. Don't even go. It's double.
Yes.
The former price.
That's another thing. It's fact.
It will be worse next week.
Of course.
Yes.
It's crazy.
There is no organization that will free you before next week.
You know that even before the Christmas, the Yuletide season, coming up with the issue of the fuel increments in price. That had increased transportation. They're not to talk about now. The hike is something else. A lot of people definitely.
The airlines are saying.
Oh, that's another story. That is something. It's something actually. The airports are being so crowded, and a lot of people flights being cancelled, being delayed. That's another thing to it. That's another thing to it because
all you even have.
Right. Imagine you haven't booked for a flight and you are there, and then you are told that your flight is being cancelled, and you don't have another money to buy another ticket. So what happens?
You're stranded.
You're stranded. You're stranded. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. Okay, at this moment, we're going to go for a short break. Please stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. glad to have you staying tuned with us. Okay, we were talking about traveling, and you know how traveling is one thing, the insecurity is another thing. You know how it is that the kidnapping here and there. The other day, was it yesterday or so? There was a live video. A bus of how many seaters was traveling, and I can't remember which part of the country right now. And the bus people came from nowhere, picked every passenger, about 13 or so people, a bit 15 inside. All of them were gone. Picked them inside the bush, and the bus was plus the driver was there, left empty with their belongings inside. But the one person, they said somehow one person was able to escape. He was now the one that came out to share the story, to tell the story of what happened. So it's even discouraging to want to travel by road. But when a lot of people cannot afford to buy an air ticket, what do you expect them to do? And that's if they must travel. But the thing is, really, must we travel? Yes, it's been like an annual thing. This is the time when most times people go home to see their loved ones, their parents, aged parents, and relatives at home. All right, and it's something they plan for. But even I haven't planned over a whole year. We are here like this. Apart from the fact that they may not even have the resources to make the trip. For those that even are still going to like manage themselves to go, this insecurity issue. What's
I was
happening?
on Blueprint newspaper this morning, and specifically on page 19, I saw another incident related to what you just said now, that on Saturday evening, that was how a lot of persons were killed and some were kidnapped, abducted in Katsina and Aziz. Imagine. So I was thinking, if we continue like this, how will people travel? And the thing is, this is the time people enjoy traveling most, because no matter what happens to you, you will gather small, you'll be able to save kind of from January gradually till December, and somehow you just feel at least what I have now will be able to sustain myself, my siblings, my aged parent, like you rightly said. And it's supposed to be a norm for us to do that. But unfortunately, this issue of insecurity is eating us deep. There is no way you will travel with your heart beating, your heart in your hand. In your hand is like you know that something may just go wrong on the road. Your children are not safe. Like the one of Katsina, the man was shot severally, but he didn't die. But because he was not moving, he couldn't move, they left him behind and left it with his wife and his children. He was shouting, "My children, help, help. Who will help you?" Nobody will come to that scene because their life too will be in danger. And only God knows if he will survive that very incident.
Yes, after being shot.
Severally, because it was like a rain of bullets, according to the story. Yes. So these persons are not persons that are different from, they are not from other countries, like people will say sometimes they are, it's just the same youth we are talking about. We want to blame, they'll say it's because of lack of job opportunity, some will say it's because of lack of parental home training and all of that. But I think personally we need to be sincere with each other. We need to train ourselves even when you are not trained. There's a Yoruba adage that says, anything will talk to you, right? That is, you were not trained and you didn't train yourself too. We also need to train ourselves as an adult. Because you are not a child that somebody is fulfilled. You know what is right from what is bad. So why allow yourself to be used by politicians to become a thug, to become a terrorist, to become somebody that will take a life you didn't create?
It's not in all cases that politicians
Right.
It's sometimes individual. Like we
course.
talked about desperation.
Greed and selfishness.
Yes. Then my take on this is that, like you asked the question, if you know that it is not safe, that's the first factor. Secondly, the transportation cost is
And
very
it's not
high.
a must.
It's not a must.
What you are going, if whatever it is that you are going for can wait.
It's true that it's our tradition, especially as Nigerians, to go.
That is the point.
Indeed, it's part of our
meet our
tradition.
relatives. It's time when siblings come from different parts of the world, of the country, come together, the family members meet together,
Right.
and then they create memories, they share love together. But then,
if this time is not suitable, it's someone that is alive that can celebrate with family members.
That's true.
Someone that has died can no longer celebrate. So
Absolutely.
you need to be alive. So we need to look for a more suitable time to travel if we must
I
travel.
was just about to ask you
Yeah.
that when you say, okay, it's not a must, but it's also
It's necessary.
important.
Yes.
It's very necessary for families to stay together,
Yeah.
to bond
It is,
together,
it is.
especially in these days when
It is.
children are going to school but houses
Yes.
and they are not always at home.
With their
So it's
parents,
important for us
yeah.
to always
Right.
gather at
Yes.
time.
Right.
So why do you think it's necessary, if not this time, for us to actually meet?
There are other holidays apart from Christmas.
But it's not of celebrations
I
like
get,
this.
I
There's a
get.
feeling behind this.
No,
Christmas.
the fact
Some
is,
people travel in February.
But
Some people travel before December.
yeah, my point is not
Some people
even
travel
about the
before
December thing or the Christmas thing. It's just for safety. Some
yeah,
people,
yeah.
safety is
yeah,
important.
Yeah.
any time of the year that you decide to make a trip, that at least the roads should be safe enough
Yes.
for motorists, for travelers to be able to move
Yes.
safely
Meanwhile,
without danger and all that, or fear of being kidnapped.
our government or individuals
That
should
is
do
it.
something. What they or you yourself, you can think of a suitable time. Travel in the morning. Don't travel at night. Okay, and then there's what they usually do. These traveling agencies, traveling agencies, sometimes they move together, or they have certain points in different towns. Like let's say if you're going from Abuja to Uyo, the vehicles that are leaving Abuja from the various agencies, they have a place at Lokoja where they all go there and meet and they kick off together at the same time. So when you see this vehicle from this travel agency go, the next one goes. In case there is something, another vehicle can come and invest. I remember last year when I was traveling, armed robbers attacked a vehicle in front of us at Enugu. So they signaled us and then they called the police. So they called the police, then so the police came. Was it police or soldiers? They came with their vehicles. So while they were going ahead of the vehicle shooting to chase and scare the armed robbers,
Away.
other vehicles were coming behind. So our security agencies should be on alert.
Right,
They
they
should make sure our roads
Yeah.
are safe for Nigeria.
Most especially, I think recently there was an announcement by the IG, Inspector General of Police, to take back all the roadblocks, all the officers, all the checkpoints. Yeah.
Right to
So,
take that.
and I think there was that announcement was made indeed, but for this period, I think when people are traveling and they see some police officers on the way, it's like it gives them some kind of
Courage.
yeah, exactly, courage that at least police are here,
Yeah.
they are close by. If anything happens, they can call for help and that kind of a thing. But
I
I really
enjoyed
don't
one of
that
my
side
trips to
meant-
Port Harcourt recently from the east part. From once you get to Enugu down to Port Harcourt, there is this sequential alignment of
Checkpoints.
Yes, checkpoints, and the security agencies are just busy.
That's
Like
beautiful.
people even get frustrated. It's enough now. What? And I said,
That's
well, this is what we want.
Yes, that's beautiful.
People's life at stake. We don't even move freely. So there should be a standard way
Yes.
of curtailing some of
Exactly.
this.
Especially this season.
Yes,
Period.
it's very important.
okay, so having said all that we have said, we've addressed a couple of challenges from insecurity to no money, scarcity of cash, no money in circulation, the hike in prices, and all that, the desperation, how desperate young adults, young teenagers and so that have become, money rituals here and there. So what should parents do at this point in time? Parents that are there, that are still awaiting salaries to be paid, that are yet to be paid, what should they do? What should be their priority? The priority of this season is joy. How much joy in the midst of all of this that we have analyzed that are not joyful at all, if you agree?
Yeah, of course.
The scarcity, the hike, the insecurity, and all that, lack of payment of salaries, it's not joy. It doesn't give joy at all. So deliberately, how can a parent share joy in his or her home, at this point in time?
Like Raymond rightly said, he said we should learn to give. You that have a little, give
Share.
or share with somebody that
It's a
has
season of sharing.
nothing.
Yeah.
And we all know that this is a season of gifts.
Yes.
There is this communal outings or relationships that people create. You have a neighbor. Your neighbor, I don't know. People are so they are so carried away with hatred and so many negativities. That is one thing again that is a very big challenge that is limiting the way people relate with each other. There is no mutual relationship, even among some siblings.
Right.
Of course, there's no mutual love. So even to sharing their properties or their items, food stuff is difficult. But cases where these persons know that this is my sister, this is my neighbor, whatever you have, you can share. You cook your food.
Let me. Yeah.
Okay. You cook your food, you share.
Yeah.
You cook, buy drinks, you share.
I want to ask. Talking about cooking and sharing. I want to ask. When we were growing up, okay, in the village, yes, when you travel and people, your neighbors,
Yes.
you know, and relatives will cook and
Yes.
bring food.
Especially during
Yeah, if during Salah is equally done,
Yes,
and
yes.
things, yeah, they cook and bring for you. Oh, this is it and that and that. But these days, how many people do that? And if there are still a few that does that, do people really still accept cooked food from people?
I can attest to the
Like
fact that
talk
a lot
about
of persons don't eat.
Yes.
Hatred and
Right.
malicious
Yes.
attitude
That's why I'm
that
asking.
kill
That's why I'm
the
asking.
true love
Right.
should be enjoyed
Yeah, yeah.
between each other. Because by the time I love you so much, there is no way I'll be eating.
And I know you love me so much.
Yes.
So there's
And I
nothing you
will
will bring
share
for me
with
that I will
you
not
that
accept.
we will not
Right.
share together. But unfortunately, I don't know, people are so jealous and so envious
Envious.
of each other's little blessings that they cannot accept true love amongst themselves. But to be very frank, this is a season where you are supposed to abolish every hate you have
Right.
against anybody
Right.
in your heart.
Yeah.
When we are celebrating Jesus, it's not our own birthday. It's
Yeah.
actually Jesus' birthday. So it's not for
And
you
he
to
came
please
with love, sharing
it's not
and showing us love, how to
live
love.
with
Love.
one another.
Right.
share love.
Imagine when he shared bread among 12,000 persons, you know,
Yes.
ordinarily it's impossible, but because of the abundance of love he has.
Absolutely.
So with the little you have, you can share with you and your
Yes.
neighbors, you and your family members, and it will reach out to as many as you
Right.
can. But come to think of it, it's not something big. It could be as little as airtime, as little as one cup
One
of
cup.
rice, 2 cups of rice, 1 loaf
As
of
you
bread.
can.
Just the little you can, 1 bag of pure water is a blessing already to somebody, because a lot of persons don't even have this money.
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't assume your neighbors
Yeah.
have because you saw them wearing a fine clothes.
Exactly.
There is a saying, it's a parable in my place, in my native language, that says that, like you have something to give to somebody and you are like, oh, can I give this to, for you, in your eyes it's too small, so you feel, oh, how would the person feel giving this kind of a small gift to this person? But in my place they said, this is too small, it's the height of stinginess. But yes, because no matter how small you feel it is in your eye, it's something to someone else. Someone else will value it, because that person, that 1 cup you are about to share, for you, you feel is really small because you have more than 1 cup. All right?
Yes.
Maybe you have a whole mudu, and you feel taking just a cup out of it is small. Your neighbor does not have that 1 cup. So giving it, the person will appreciate it. It might look small in your eye, but in the eye of that person is worth something, and yes, it's appreciated. So yes, so it's actually a time where we should, stretch forth our hands to those that we feel, need any kind of help or assistance, no matter how small. Also, Raymond, we agree that it's a period that families should practice contentment.
Yes, exactly. Contentment comes in. Try to utilize what you have. Look within you, look around you. The little you have, make use of it. You don't need to hope that someone will surface from somewhere and give you millions. If they come, fine.
If they come,
If they
fine.
don't come, make use of the resources you have. And it's a time when parents should teach children contentment. If children are taught, they will not expect what another person has.
Right.
Or they will not want to to go extra miles to do the wrong thing to be able to. If you have electricity in your house, you watch TV with your children, you laugh, little thing you have, you eat and share with happiness. You understand?
Yeah.
So that goes a long way.
While I was growing up, there is this tradition in our house. We use the day of Christmas.
Just a second. We are coming to that family tradition. Okay, I want very quickly. I was with a friend yesterday, still on the contentment that Raymond is talking about, and we were discussing. She actually made plans. She was going to travel, and there was this money she was expecting. And as at when we saw yesterday, I asked her, "How are you traveling?" She said, "Ah, no, travel is cancelled." I said, "Oh no, what happened?" She said, "Because the money she's expecting does not want to overstrain herself." I said, "Very good." She said, let me use her word, that the little she has, she would rather stay here with her children and enjoy the season and get what they can, rather than you travel with it. And don't forget that when we travel, there are expenses.
Expectations
A lot of, yes, because you came from the city.
Yes.
A lot of your people back at home are going to be expecting that you are going to come buying bread and something from you. So by the time she goes home and spend it and comes back, she doesn't want to come back in January to start lamenting or suffering or being in lack. I said, wise decision, wise choice. So that's what we every other person, every family should follow suit. Parents, please don't outstretch yourself. Whatever it is, however you can afford it, let it be. The one you cannot afford, gather your children around and explain to them and let them know. Talking about, back to you now, the family tradition. What, as a family, a father and a mother, as a couple, over the years, you have children. What kind of tradition have you created for this season? What do you do with your children? What are your plans? What have you been doing over the years? Every family have what they do. What do you do? What are your plans for your family? So you were going to talk about that.
Of course, I was about telling you, discussing the depth of how we feel Christmas and we celebrate Christmas from our own perspective. Of course, a lot of families do their thing the way they want to do it, but I felt this is a unique aspect of it, because in as much as we know Christmas is a time of peace, it's a time to show love, it's a time to share gifts. It is also a time to be very prayerful. It is a time where families are supposed to hold their hands and pray, because we are entering into a fresh year. Once, very important is for us to even thank God for the months we have enjoyed, total peace, happiness, and all of that, and blessings, of course. But this very day of Christmas is a day for us to pray. I fast way years back on Christmas days, the day some persons eat to stupor, if there's anything like that, drink to stupor and all of that. But we use it to fast. We use it to pray. We use it to study the Word of God. Like, you have to even do memory verses and all of that. A family fellowship for that very 25th. So it's very important for families to think of this. It is not for you to eat and drink to stupor. It is for you
forget the reason for the season.
For the season, it's for you to align your relationship with God, encourage your children to follow suit, and when they grow, these things will continue to ring in their head.
Right.
They will not depart from it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I think other family traditions that should be emulated is, let's say, families should maybe cook together. You want to cook, you call your children, you come together. Even your husband can be with you in the kitchen while you are cooking, discuss one or two things. You will hear.
Okay, the husbands hearing. Husbands, please hear loud and clear. Raymond is suggesting that this season, this period, you should be home with your wife in the kitchen, help her out along with your children, and not just leave them at home and go and hang out with the boys. Hang out with your family this period.
Wives are at home.
Right.
Help your wife to shred onions or something, and do something, and so that they can come down together.
Right.
And then you can as well hang out together, create a bond. Okay, create memories together. You can go to a park, you can take your children out, and then you can also visit. There are people that you might not have the time to visit during the year. You can find time to go and visit them. Pay visit to an orphanage.
I've come to think of it, there are a lot of funny enough. Do you know that before you know it, a year has ended, and you discover that there were a lot of people, a lot of pals, even relatives that you couldn't see in the course of the year. So yeah, like you rightly said, I think it's a period where You can, like, as a family, go visiting and
Yes.
all of that.
Then being that most people are going to shop for Christmas, they're going to buy new things. When we talked about sharing, we focus on food. You can share old clothes or clothes that you're no longer using that are still
Clothes and shoes.
good. There are people that will use that for their Christmas clothes. So like you said, this one may not be maybe small, but to somebody that
It's
will be.
something.
Yes, I remember there are some children that were in my church once. I think at the time I was still single. So somebody came and brought okay clothes to our compound, and I saw girls' clothes, boys. I just went and I picked a few, and I kept them. So when they came to church on Sunday, I gave them. I was surprised they used it to church.
You
So
see?
yes, I was surprised. So try to touch lives. Try. And that
Right.
doing it that way, you are teaching your children, passing it on to them that during periods like this it's important to touch a life.
Yeah, I like that aspect where you are teaching them, because let's not forget that we are parents, and I always say that the home you create as a parent is more important than the home where you came from. Let's sink that in. Always, I always say that, and every opportunity I get, I say that a lot. All right. So when you are teaching your children these things, how the right reason, let them know that it's not just, yes, because it sounds Christmas. It's not just to drink, to eat plenty, and buy clothes, go shopping. Why is it? What happened during Christmas? Let them know.
Why are we celebrating?
Why are
this
we
period?
even celebrating? Who is Christ for those that are Christians,
What's
even
the
non-Christians?
significance? What's important?
What exactly? Why? What happened during this period? Why is it a season of celebration? Let them know. Like she has said, prayer is good to pray because it coincided with the end of the year.
Just to show
Just a
gratitude.
week, yes, just a week in between the year ends, another year begins. It's a time of reflection. As parents, as a couple, reflect with one another. As a man, call your wife, reflect, go through the year together. Look back, count your blessings. It's a season of thanksgiving. Appreciate God for what, no matter how little, if for nothing, for life. You are alive.
Yeah.
You look left, you see your wife. You look right, you see your children. You look ahead, you see your parents. You look behind, you see your siblings. Alive, hale and hearty, just like you are. No one is missing. My goodness. That's first of all, life first. Oh yes, life first. And whatever it is, you have a roof over your head. You can eat.
Yes.
Even if at least you can feed.
Yes.
All right. A lot of people are sick. So for the fact that you are healthy, you are alive, and it's a big deal as far as I'm concerned. It's a big deal. So there are a lot of reasons to thank God for and to be prayerful about them. Just like Clempart has said, prayerful in thanksgiving, prayerful ahead of the upcoming year.
Yes.
What you are looking forward to, what are your plans? What were you not able to achieve this year? What efforts do you need to put in to achieve them next year? All right. So a lot of things to like. It's supposed to be like a period of sober reflection. You reflect. Don't just let the activities take your mind away and distract us. And these are what we should teach children, our children, because when you teach them this, when they grow up tomorrow and they are on their own, even when you are not there, it becomes a part of them. They already know that yes, this is the season, this is what is to be done, this is the tradition. Then when they have their own family tomorrow, same thing. All right. One of the other way of talking about family tradition, gather your pictures. Come up, gather your archives. Go there, bring them out. Maybe some people don't have their parents, their grandparents are no more. Some children did not know their grandparents. If you have their photographs, show your children. This was my father. This was my mother. Your grandmother, your grandfather. Show them your auntie, your uncle. That's for those that have pictures to show. Like that. Even if it's your own family album, maybe when they were born, you just look, you laugh. When you were a girl, you're a young man. Oh, daddy, is that you? Look at you when you were slim. Look at you had a long neck.
Yes.
Oh, Mom, you were this slim. Look at you now. It's fun. You look at them together as a family. it's you
It's a
can
good memory.
it's a bond. It's a time for bonding. It's
Yeah.
a time for bonding and sharing this lovely and beautiful memory that your children will live with for the rest of their lives. So okay, I want to have your last thoughts on this, even as we are winding down.
Okay, like you have rightly said, it is very important for us to know that in as much as this season is for merriment, we are not just going to marry alone. Let's not be selfish. Let's reach out to people. And most importantly, have you visited a hospital recently? If you have not done that, then you have to do, because you will have a lot of reason to be grateful to God for sparing your life in good health of mind and body to this time. Because the last time I went to the hospital, sometime last week, I saw things and my tears were just dropping. I couldn't control my emotions because people are really fighting
for their
with
life.
so much money, but still life is going out of them. If you are alive and healthy to this point, you don't know what will happen
Right.
for you.
Yeah.
So please be grateful to God. Take those your children to places like that, not only amusement parks. Take them to places where they can appreciate the blessings of God.
Right.
And they never forget this.
Right. Thank you so much, Raymond.
Okay, first of all, Merry Christmas
Yeah.
to all our viewers out there. Enjoy the season, be contented with what you have,
Right.
make maximum use of the little you have. Do
Absolutely.
not go and borrow to impress anybody.
It's not the time to borrow.
Yeah, yes, and
It's not time to borrow.
be security conscious. Be careful of the kind of vehicles you enter. Be careful of the kind of things you say to the people in the vehicle. Be careful, and then shop wisely. Shop wisely, and be grateful to God for what you have.
Yeah, and I would say expose yourself less this period, and whenever you are going anywhere, whether you are within town, please let somebody know where you are going.
Yeah.
It's very important your whereabouts. People should know. Let your family members and your loved ones know your whereabouts per time. All right. Even if you have to travel, let your destination, your right destination. It's not time to tell lies. It's not time to say you are here and you are there. Let them know where you are per time. And I also family couple, please, wives, support your husbands this period. Whatever little they have to give to you, use it. Be contented with it. Likewise, the children, anybody that is out there listening, watching, young adults, teenagers, cope with your parents this period. Whatever it is that they can give to you, accept it and appreciate them for it. Because whether you like it or not, the situation where you are, the position where you are right now, there are people that are praying. It is their prayer. It is others' prayer points to be in your position where you are right now.
Yes.
As much as you are aiming, to get bigger and higher. So I want to say a very big thank you, Clempat,
Thank you
for
so much for
being
having
here
me
as
here
usual.
today.
Yes,
Merry
Raymond.
Christmas to all of
Yes,
us.
thank you so
Yes,
much
for
also
having me.
for being, and thank you, viewers, for being there. And once again, from here, the Studio of Family and Society talk show, we say Merry Christmas. God
Have
bless.
fun and be safe.